Oh. Hey. Oh, wow, I'm on here. All right, cool. All right, guys. I'm Newbie. This is Shovel Knight Spectre of Torment, the second DLC to come out of this Shovel Knight game. All free DLC. Yeah. So whenever we're ready, I can start, I guess. Do I have to press this split button here?
Yeah.
Just whack it? I don't really want to whack it, but just press it. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Did it go? All right, it worked. So the point of this game is you play as Spectre Knight, one of the bosses from the original Shovel Knight game. And Spectre Knight has some pretty cool abilities. You can climb on walls, and you have this giant scythe. And you can dash through enemies and certain objects as well. And the dash is really fast, so we try to use the dash pretty much as possible here. So up this wall. So it's kind of like Ninja Gaiden-y, sort of. Yeah, like a Ninja Gaiden version of Shovel Knight. So you see we're getting a bunch of money. I'm also getting a bunch of skulls. The skulls will allow me to buy the curios, which are the upgrades, kind of like the weapons from Shovel Knight. They're called curios in this game. And the money will allow me to upgrade one of those curios and also get some armor, because there's a really good armor in this game. And we don't get any of that till like after level 3 anyway. So just in the meantime, we're just collecting stuff. Your scythe is also long enough, also there, to get through the wall, which is nice. I'm taking some intentional damage boosting as well, just because it's faster than trying to cut through enemies. So there we're able to kind of hop to get our jump back. There's a couple little tricks for speed in this game. So every time you start running, it's a little bit of a slow animation. So if you jump immediately, you're at full walking speed right away. So almost every time I'm going to try to do a little jump before I run. Here I'm getting a health upgrade. There is an upgrade in every level, a health or a darkness upgrade. Darkness works like your magic meter from the original Shovel Knight. I won't be getting many of them, just a couple. I'm mainly getting the health just for safety. Whoops, let's not fall there. I need the skull. Alright, I'm going to actually bounce off this guy into the next screen. That allows me to get that skull that's up there, save a little bit of time. Damage boost through all these guys. So I'm going to need, I can't remember how many skulls I need. 9 or something for the first one, or 10. So the first boss is the same as in Shovel Knight, Black Knight. And similar to in Shovel Knight, there is actually a stun lock. It's a little bit trickier than it is in the original Shovel Knight. But we're going to try and get it where we lock him into the side of the screen here. Start with a hit. Okay, looking good. So this way he's not able to move. Oh, he did move. I talked. Well, it was close. All right, die. Oh my gosh. All right, he's doing pretty well here. So I got like half the stun lock going, so that was okay. Yeah, it's possible to keep him in that corner the entire match, and he doesn't jump around and get off his high horse there. And the closer I am to the right side of the screen, the quicker the animation goes. So you always want to kind of end on the right side of the screen as well. That was the first level, and there's no home map on this Shovel Knight version. There's just a hub world. So we're not going to get any upgrades yet. We're just going to go straight to the next level. So the reason I want to go to the next level, you can actually choose what level you go to. I'm going to be going to Flying Machine. And the reason for that is to get the upgrades, you have to beat certain levels. So kind of like Mega Man style, you get certain weapons after you complete the level. So the Judgment Rush, which is the weapon I want, is not unlocked until I complete this stage. And Judgment Rush is useful in every single stage after this. So we're going to go for this level first. It's one of the trickier stages, too. So I just have to hope to not die. Whoa. Let's reset the cycle here. Take a damage. There we go. So again, we're collecting skulls here. The skull route is actually also pretty well defined, so I only get the ones that are pretty much right on the route that don't take much deviation here. Also, the checkpoints are now breakable, and I will be breaking most of them. They give you a lot of money, and I need a lot of money to buy a couple things. Those spikes are one-hit kill, which is really dangerous. So we're pretty much maximizing our money here. I need 6,000 by the end of this level. So this is kind of a tricky boss. If I don't get those bombs to hit him. It's okay, so by taking damage there, I'm able to just stand there and hit him almost indefinitely. Okay, let's just get the checkpoint. There we go. Skull there. So yeah, with the dash too, there's a lot of little tricks you can do to kind of skip specific things, skip parts of rooms. So now we're in the auto-scroller, and there's actually nothing I can do to speed this up. So basically, at this point, we just try to get as much money as possible. And there's a fair bit of money in all these blocks and stuff, so... So I have 10 skulls. There's 2 more, I think, in this level I'm getting. I am getting 2 upgrades total in the run. And 2 armor upgrades. 1 right after this, and then 1 much later for the final boss. So the best skulls are the ones in the auto scrollers. So this one is great because I don't waste any time getting it. So when routing which skulls to get, those ones are obviously auto includes in the route here. This has a lot of money in it, as you can see. Now the downside is if I die, hopefully I don't have a checkpoint, so it's a little bit risky, but it's worth it. Oh, I need that skull. All right, I have to wait for the cycle here because I do need to get this skull. There we go. Also, don't touch the spikes. One-hit kill is very bad. So there's a checkpoint coming up right after here that I'm not going to break because the next room after it is notoriously difficult. The enemies are random in the room, so I'm just going to try and not die in this room, hopefully. Whoops, okay. So these guys move essentially randomly. Okay, we're good. That's a little terrifying, but I didn't die, so that's good. And this wind here is going to blow me, so I have to stabilize. Okay. I'm also not going to break this one because I don't want to die on Propeller Knight. I don't need more money, really, so. So kind of similar to Shovel Knight. I'm just going to try and time my hits here. And now he changes the stage up, so things are a little bit different. We're still going to try and... He also jumps around. If I'm not fast enough, he's going to fly off screen. Let's not die here. Alright, that was pretty good. So this gives us a good amount of money. Alright, so now we're going to get some upgrades and kind of change the way the game is played at this point. So we'll skip this little cutscene. So I'm going to make 2 things here. First is the Judgment Rush I was talking about earlier. So I have to buy the item, do a little mini room to start using it. So this allows me to essentially warp an attack to the nearest enemy. As you can see, I can go through walls as well. So we'll be exploiting that quite a bit. And then we're also going to be buying the rail mail armor, which you'll see allows us to skate essentially very fast. So this is much faster now. So now I have the Judgment Rush and the rail mail, and I'll be going much faster through the levels at this point. Now I still need to collect money and skulls because I'm going to get 1 more upgrade after the next couple levels. For a couple more items. So as you can see, things go a lot faster. I can skip whole rooms pretty easily in a lot of cases. Get past big enemies, go through walls here. Now the gimmick of this stage obviously is things get dark, so you can't see what's going on. Luckily I've played this level a couple times before in my life. There's a skull here I need. You didn't see it, but it was there, I swear to God. So rooms without enemies, I can't Judgment Rush through because there's nothing to target. It's also important to note that you kind of have to know. Whoops! You kind of have to know where the enemies in the room are. That's not a big deal. I can get all my stuff back. Because the Judgment Rush automatically targets an enemy, you have to kind of know exactly what spots will allow you to Judgment Rush properly. So let's try this room again. This is actually kind of a difficult room. Alright. No! So the platforms obviously are invisible, and that bug keeps poking me, so let's focus a little bit here now. Also, when you die, if you notice, you lose a bunch of money, which is pretty bad when the route is really tight on money. Let's try it again here. Whoops, I didn't really want to do that. Or that. Or that. All right, this is not going well. Let's try this again. I'm probably actually going to need to get a little bit of backup money as well later on in the run, because I'm losing so much here on this bad room. Luckily, it's a checkpoint, which is nice. Like right there. I'm just going to take a little save here. There we go. All right, we did it. Okay. It's okay, we got through. Collect a little extra money here. I'm just gonna break this checkpoint because it's got a lot of it. There's a skull hidden away here. Okay, that was good. We can't get through that wall, unfortunately. There was a point where someone was trying to lure the ghost through the wall and then Judgment Rush, but it doesn't actually work that way. I'm gonna get this checkpoint too. Alright. Alright, we got through the level. So this boss is also pretty tricky. He's not one of the original Shovel Knight bosses. Spectre Knight is obviously the boss of this stage normally. So in this story, you sort of usurp the throne here. So Judgment Rush also, beyond targeting, also deals a double hit. So it's pretty good to deal double damage on one hit like that. So the way I'm trying to manipulate the boss here is keep him on the right side of the screen. So when he does this warping, he always goes on the right side. So I can stay kind of in one spot here. Alright, that was really good. So it's pretty straightforward, as long as you keep him on the right side. Because if he starts going left, it's a mess, and you have to jump around. So I don't quite have enough yet for the next upgrade, so I'm not going to get it. I also need more money as well. Because when I get the next upgrade, you can actually upgrade that specific weapon, too. So I'm going to be upgrading the next one I buy. First I do this flashback scene. In the original Shovel Knight, there were dream sequences after every third level. In this one, there's actually flashbacks. So I'm playing as Spectre Knight's old form, Donovan, who doesn't have all the abilities, but he's still cool. He does most of the same things. And the key about these is you keep all the money that you collect in these dream sequences, which is nice. And there is quite a bit of money here, so I'm going to be getting all of it. Especially because I lost some in the last stage. Alright, whatever. And you have a little buddy here who is questing with you. Let's just get this thing in here. So yeah, we're just gonna get all this money. Things get expensive, so. Basically, we're infiltrating the castle to get some amazing relic that's not ours. All right. So next we're gonna do Clockwork Tower. I'm gonna grab a Darkness in Clockwork Tower, so I'm able to use my my Judgment Rush more often, because it takes up a half my Darkness meter to use it once, and you only get refills from enemies. But as you can see, it's nice to get through areas way quicker. It's not getting squished. Okay, cool. So the route here uses pretty much just enough darkness to be able to Judgment Rush on the screens you need to. Whoa! Okay. There was a little skip I could do there, but I did miss the cycle. So normally there's a way to kind of get under there pretty early, but I fell early, so I didn't do it. So that gives me a little bit of darkness from that guy. I'm gonna have to walk through this. I almost have enough darkness to get through here to use a rush, but I don't quite. All right, so we're just gonna take a little detour here. By getting this, I don't have to purchase one in the hub worlds, which you can also do. After you beat a level, you can purchase like darkness and health upgrades that you missed in the level, which is nice, but they're really expensive. This music is also really Mega Man. Wow, let's not fall back. You have to be careful to make sure you actually grab the walls or get enough height to get up there. All right, so that's like the difficult-ish parts of the level. I'll be a little auto-scroller for a while. What's nice about this route specifically is the auto-scrollers are kind of done after the first couple levels. So besides the one in the very last level, right before the final boss, there's no more auto-scrolling, which is good. Just get through it quick. Okay, so again, just collecting some money, if I can. And I'm gonna need 9 skulls after this. So there's one in this auto-scroller and one in the next auto-scroller just before the boss here. Uh-oh. That wasn't good. Oh, I didn't even get a checkpoint. All right, so that's going to eat up a ton of time. I was not being careful in the auto-scroller like I should have been. On the plus side, I have all my darkness again, so I don't actually need to get the upgrade. But I do need to do the level again, so that's going to waste, like, a little bit of time here. I can also try for the skip again, now that you've seen the level. Oops. A little skip there. Alright, we're good. So in this room, let's see if I can get it. Alright, we got it. Looks scary, but if I'm fast enough, you get it every time, so that's good. So we don't have to get the darkness again, obviously, we already got it. You know, I am going to just get this, actually. Probably should have got that the first time, but that's okay. Just in case, we're going to hit that little checkpoint. Alright. Anyway, we're back here again. Now, all the money that I previously got also is not available anymore. So they kind of wanted you to get the money that you lost, or make you feel like when you lose money and you die, it's actually important. So that wasn't too bad of a time loss, honestly. Maybe like 5 minutes in total. All right, let's just be careful on the spikes this time. All right, so we got a good chunk of our money back there. I may not go for that money. I don't know if I want to die. Okay, let's not go for it. That's okay. We still have a good chunk of money. We're all right. Okay. I'm also going to get this checkpoint here, just in case. There We're going to try and skip over top. Unintended, possibly. Judgment Rush this guy to get through. I'm also almost dead, so there's a little food here I'm going to get. So the rail mail obviously is super good because you can skate past all these. Okay. You can just skate through everything, and it's like 4 times faster than walking. Oh. Sometimes you can reach that if he jumps, but he's also kind of a jerk, so you don't always get it. Alright. So there's one more skull in this auto-scroller, and then basically we're at the boss. And that's all the skulls I'll need. I also have quite a bit of money, so I'm okay. A little bit of money there. These daggers are random, the ones that are flying around here. But if you stay high enough, they pretty much never hit you, so... Yeah, again, all spikes are one-hit kill, as you've seen twice already so far. So I'm just not going to hit spikes anymore. Alright, there's our skull. So we have 9 skulls. So it costs us 9 skulls, and then to upgrade it into our next upgrade to a fully powered upgrade will cost us 8,000 and some odd. No, I'm not gonna get the health. 8,000 some odd money. So there was a trick in the original Shovel Knight where if you use the gear, you can one-shot this little version of Tinker Knight here. We don't have the gear, so I just have to attack him and kill him normally. I can also Judgment Rush to get up, and it deals a double hit. So also like the original Shovel Knight, this isn't his final form. He has a giant mech as well. So Judgment Rush gets us up there, which is good. And we're going to try and use it, if I can, to stay up top. Also, hitting him gives us darkness, but we're a little bit low here. So I'm just going to try and get up here normally. Come on. Alright, nice. So use just enough darkness also. And I'm going to die! Oh no. It doesn't matter, I already beat him. Alright, that worked out pretty well. So I definitely have more than enough money here. So that, without the Judgment Rush, that boss is way harder, because you have to climb the mech all the time to get up to him. But this way I can just warp right up to him, which is good. Whoa, what am I doing? Alright, so next upgrade is the Skeletal Sentry. Skeletal Sentry is like a buddy I can drop, and then he just shoots. Shoots like bullets at stuff. So he's really good against bosses, because he does a lot of work for me. He can also explode, like that, which is good. And as the regular Skeletal Sentry, he only does 3 shots, and then waits for a while, then does 3 more shots. So when we do this upgrade here, he becomes a much better 5 shots. Okay, so there's the Skeletal upgrade. Alright, so now we're fully powered up pretty much for most of the run. I don't want to go back to Clockwork Tower. I want to go to Ardwell. So first we have to do a mini-boss here. This is Reese from the original game. He's going to be corrupted now and turn into an enemy. So here's a way we can use the Skeletal Sentry right away. So you'll see kind of what it does. I'm going to drop it here first. And he's just going to do some damage, which is great. So it's essentially extra hits. Yeah, so he just shoots. We'll drop another one. Try and get some damage in. So that was excellent. So the Sentry just blasts bolts, and you don't have to do a lot of the work, which is great. So that combined with attacking him, and the Judgment Rush for double damage, cleans up most bosses pretty quick now. So this is kind of an older route as well. There's a newer route with a different upgrade. That's not the Sentry, but I haven't learned it yet, so. So Treasure Knight stage here. It's kind of the water stage of this game. You go a little bit slower in water, but it's okay because we also have the Judgment Rush to skip a bunch of stuff. For some reason that targets the enemy on the far right. I don't know why. Okay, we're just gonna damage boost. You can't actually kill these guys. So we don't kill them. Okay. For some reason, this works like that if you wait until then. For some reason, it targets that enemy. I don't know why, but it works out really well. Okay. We're still going to try and collect money here because I can purchase darkness upgrades from the hub, and I'll be doing that to try and have a lot of darkness, be able to use the sentry a lot and use the judgment rush a lot, especially in later levels. All right, so this mini boss is the exact same as Shovel Knight. So we have to wait for him to get across the screen here. Luckily, I can keep bouncing off his little chest here and not fall to my doom. This also, by killing these little enemies, I'm refilling my darkness, which is nice. Okay, so as soon as he opens up, I can attack him. It takes 12 hits to die. And there's a way to kind of do it before he does this animation where he goes to the other side of the screen. But it's a little bit tricky. It requires some precise use of the sentry. Whoops. There we go. There are times when it gets awkward trying to specifically dash at certain things. Let's skip this room here. Depending on like where the enemy's attack hits, and kind of just the finickiness of targeting. You have to be in the air and you have to be close enough to the specific object you want to attack. So this fish is not killable by any of my weapons. It also does double 2 full hearts of damage when it hits me. So I kind of just want to be careful and not die to this thing. But these anchors will kill it, so we're going to try and get the anchors too. Yay, it's dead. Alright, so that was good. You can just die to that guy sometimes. Also, you notice there, if I use the Judgment Rush and there's no enemies on screen, it just freezes me in the air a little bit. And I can use that to my advantage in a couple places where there are no enemies. Alright, so we're coming up to the boss here now. Treasure Knight, who is, in my opinion, one of the quickest fights with the Skeletal Sentry. You'll see, you're underwater, so he moves a little bit slower as well. So drop the Sentry, which means he just sits there and takes damage. Alright. So the Sentry obviously does most of the work there. You just have to plant it and go do some hits. Not very difficult, but it's still impressive. It looks really cool when you beat him so fast. So I think we're on the next dream sequence. No, not yet. What do I know? So I'm going to buy a darkness upgrade here. So darkness was available from the last world that I didn't pick up in the world, so now it's available for me to buy for 4 grand in the shop. Okay, so Mole Knight stage is definitely more difficult than he is in the original Shovel Knight, or in Plague of Shadows, I'd say. Okay. Okay. So just like the spikes, the lava is also one-hit kill. Obviously, you don't want to hit lava. We're also going to break almost no checkpoints here because it's a bit difficult. And I don't need any money at this point. I have quite a bit now. Okay, there's a beetle skip, just like in Shovel Knight. It's actually much easier because Judgment Rush is pretty straightforward. Okay, I didn't die. That was good. So these green lanterns here actually push you in the opposite way. It's very strange. So you have to just hit yourself from the back there. What's great about the rail mail also skating is you can obviously clear way larger gaps than you normally could. So So I'm able to skip a bunch of things just by using the rail mail to skate across. You just get bigger jumps out of it. All right, these blow up when you obviously jump off them, so you have to be a little bit careful there. So I'm actually just going to take my time here as not to die. All right, cool. Whoops. So I got a skull there, even though it doesn't matter anymore. I'm not getting any upgrades. But I will never not get a skull if it's not on the way. So if I do the Judgment Rush here... Okay. So normally you have to light up both sides. You have to turn them both from lava into green goo. But there, by using the Judgment Rush, I can just get up there by freezing myself in the air. Okay. What else to do here? Oh, Judgment Rush. So there's another beetle skip, obviously. That one. We're going to get some distance here. Okay, cool. So I skipped both the beetles, which is nice. Here I'm going to... Oh, I need darkness. Okay. I was actually going to use the skeletal sentry there to blow up those blocks, but I don't have any darkness. So I can't. I did an extra Judgment Rush. This is frustrating. Just don't die. Okay. Alright, so we're on to Mole Knight now. Same thing here with the skeletal sentry. He'll do some good work. We're going to try and beat him in one cycle here, which is before he goes underground, which is pretty easy. So again, not too hard, but it looks cool. So now the moles take him away for dinner. No, don't eat him. Don't worry, he comes back. There's actually no boss rush in this campaign, which is kind of nice because the boss rush was always super hard in Shovel Knight. I heard something. I don't know what someone said. So now I'm doing the next flashback scene as Donovan, and I get a little item here. The Caltrops, which I'll be using against some enemies and the boss coming up. So again, you keep all your money from these dream sequences. So I'm going to be collecting some money. Caltrops to poke that guy. This part's a little hard. I'm just going to not die. Lure that guy out. There we go. That worked. And if I'm fast enough on this screen, I can skip these lava ball cycles. Yep, we're good. And I'm going to get this checkpoint too because this boss can be problematic. Alright, so we finally infiltrated the castle. There's the stone we want. And it's Shield Knight from the original Shovel Knight, who says, no, you cannot have it. I don't blame her. And she has a big shield in front, so hitting her from the back is pretty much the only way you can get in, do any damage here. When she stands there, I can just drop Caltrops on her, which is good. So when she throws a shield, it's the best because you can actually just deal damage with the Caltrops instead of actually having to hit her. All right, that went pretty well, actually. There isn't really any faster way to do that, so that's good. No, I want the stone for myself, so I'm going to kill you for it. And then I blew up the whole building because I was greedy. All right, so we got all the money, which is good. I do that way too often. So the next level, Exploratorium, and there's another darkness upgrade in here. We're not going to get it. We're just going to buy it from the shop afterwards. So this level is based on global cycles. So the cycles begin at the very beginning of the level as soon as I start it. So where I end up in the level, at what point, is based on how long it took me to get there, essentially. And it's really apparent with like certain pots and certain other things. All right, let's get up there. So I was a little bit slow there, so the cycles are going to be a bit different from the optimal cycle, but that's okay. Let's not die. Okay. It's only going to be apparent about halfway through the level here. So these pots here that push up here, I'm going to have to actually... Yeah, I'm going to have to wait here. So if I were a little bit faster early on, these would be right on cycle. But it's not a big deal. I'm just going to wait, because those spikes are instant kill. Alright. Exploding rats. Always scary. Those spikes are not instant kill, the small ones, which is nice. Alright, this section's pretty fast with the rail mail, which is good. Just get through it. Again, this is so much harder when you don't have this armor. Little mini-boss, we're going to use a sentry here to deal some damage. He is going to transform into his beast form. Little Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde here. But he dies pretty quick, which is good. Okay. Damage boost gets us up there a little bit faster. You saw damage boosting in Ghosts and Ghouls a lot. Same idea. Oh, come on. So the other thing about Judgment Rush is that it actually gives you like a brief moment of invincibility. So I can even land on some hazards right after I Judgment Rush, and I'll be okay. That doesn't come up very often, but it's relevant sometimes. This damage boosting is not intentional. Just don't want to die here. Alright, we're coming up to Plague Knight here. So Plague Knight's a little bit different. He actually multiplies his form in this one. And we can only damage a specific one. It's actually the purple one with the purple staff there. Alright, Skeletal Sentry, let's go. Alright. So I didn't really know how that worked at the very end. I just assumed shots hit him and I kept attacking, and it worked out pretty well. So when it gets that hectic, it's hard to kind of keep track of where you are, but it did work out, so that was good. So we're going to buy the last darkness upgrade going into the next level. So I have max darkness. I can use my Judgment Rush and my Skeletal Sentry pretty frequently. It's good. And I'm still going to need a little bit of money to get the last armor upgrade before the final boss. But what's nice about it is you get quite a bit of money from bosses. So you don't really have to worry about collecting any extra money on the sides or breaking any more checkpoints. So that was not really a boss. I was actually supposed to go here. He just comes in and thinks he's cool, but he's not cool. Alright, so this is one of my favorite levels. This is the level where the skating actually originated, because on these rails you normally skate on your scythe anyway. So a lot of grinding in this level. Rail grinding. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater here. But I can skate everywhere, obviously, so it's a little bit better. Take a hit here, because these guys are basically impossible to get through. So there's a mini-boss here. Sentry's going to do good work. This is the rainbow bird thing. Yeah, it's strange. So if I get a jump here, I can reach this. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. So that would skip me having to do that bottom part here. That's okay. Also, switches that change things in the level are present in here. And the Sentry is actually going to do the switching for us here, which is nice. This saves a little bit of time because I don't have to go over to that switch and hit it every time, which is nice. Just for good luck. Switch that. The switches I can also target with my dash. Obviously, the red ones push you left, the blue ones push you right. And there's actually no way to go the other way on them, so you have to do the switches if you're in these rooms. But it's pretty quick, which is good. Here I'd have to go up and around, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to Judgment Rush and skip that whole screen there. Because there's an enemy there that takes it. So that saves probably like a minute. Alright, so luckily those spikes are masked by that snow there, so we don't have to worry about it. And most of the level's pretty much done. We're on the last little rail section here. You have to preemptively kind of slash your scythe here, because these guys appear quickly. If you don't, you just get hit by them. Hey, Polar Knight. The screen's a lot larger than the original Shovel Knight here, you'll see. Same principle applies. We're going to try to sentry his... Oh, almost. Okay, we got it. So if he jumps up, he goes into this whole other phase, and it sucks. So we actually got it early, which is good. Okay, there's only one more regular level left, and then we're on to the boss levels. So the next level is King Knight stage. King Knight is the next DLC coming up, which will be awesome, I hope. There's one more dream sequence, but it's actually not much of a sequence. It's just story progression. You fall into the pit, and then the Enchantress, who's the main boss, asks you to join her, and then you did, because you don't have a choice. No, don't climb that wall. Alright. Alright, so King Knight stage. This is a pretty quick stage also, because of the Judgment Rush here. I can skip quite a few rooms. Not like that. Judgment Rush can also save you, which is great. So instead of doing underneath these rooms, I just skip them all, which is awesome. Very early on, this level was like second in the route. As soon as you get Judgment Rush, you just come here because you can skip everything. But it doesn't really matter too much. It was just the most apparent level where you could use the Judgment Rush really well. So we're out of darkness, but that's okay. We've done most of our skipping here. Oh, the rail you can also grind on spikes, if you didn't notice that. So it's nice. So that's a way to save you kind of from it, from the one-hit kills. Oh, I'm trying to damage boost, and it worked. So that was good. So we're just going to go down here. I'm going to refill my health just to be a little bit safe. I don't really need it, but I don't want to jinx it here. No! I was actually trying to Judgment Rush that enemy right there, but I wasn't quite close enough. Not a big deal. I don't really need health. I hit every checkpoint in this level anyway, so I'm right here. That's good. There we go. So that's just about close enough to do it, which is good. On the plus side, I refilled all my darkness, which is nice. Just for dying. So it didn't cost me much at all. So yeah, we're skipping most of this. Again, specific spots like standing there allow me to target that enemy. Also, targeting him facing right is important too, so that I actually am able to go right. So a lot of little nuances with the Judgment Rush have to do with placement. So as long as you're placed correctly, you should be fine. I'm not going to die to this. So I have to keep hitting these books to keep the platforms kind of alive here. And we did okay. That room can always be scary. Luckily, it didn't turn out too poorly. And we're on to the boss now. So King Knight's also kind of random. He can jump up and fly up and do all sorts of weird stuff. So we're going to hope that, well, the sentry is turned to the right, which is bad. We're just going to blow him up and drop a new one. So yeah, once he goes up here, it's kind of frustrating. Also, I can die if I fall in the pits, so I'm just going to try to avoid the pits as well. Alright, we're good. We didn't fall in the pits, which is great. I can fall now, it doesn't matter. Alright. So that's all the regular levels finished. And now we're on to the boss levels, which are a little bit harder and have a couple really difficult bosses. But we should be alright. I'm not purchasing anything yet. I will after this level. I'll grab one more armor upgrade. Black Knight's back for vengeance. Skipping a bunch of cutscenes. There's Enchantress, the final boss. Alright, Tower of Fates. So again, Judgment Rush here. Skipping through most of this stuff. There's a little dude in there. If he's on screen, we can Judgment Rush him. There he is. It's kind of weird, you have to get right in there, right at the right moment when he's on screen. Whatever. So basically, just to be a little bit careful here. As not to fall in lava. That's why I'm not doing rail mail here much. Also, I can't get through anyway while that barrier is up. These rats also move randomly, so it's a little bit tricky sometimes to just go for it. All right, there's a auto-scroller in here that we're gonna try and beat. We're not gonna get through it in time here. If I was quicker, I could get down to the bottom platform a little bit early, but it's pretty challenging, so I don't want to die. I have to not to. And we're gonna try and skip a couple switches here by going fast enough. So we're just gonna go through this stuff here. Don't get squished. Perfect. All right, so that was pretty good. And rail mill, let's just skip all this stuff. Probably take a hit, yep. This room is scary because there's spikes on the ceiling, and these things bounce you up. But we got through. Alright, so there's another fish here that deals 2 full hearts of damage, and it's unkillable. But we're going to use them a little bit more to our advantage in this one. So I know I have to get that blue ball, but I'm just going to do this. Fish. Okay, that works. So I use the fish kind of give me some momentum up there. I was gonna go for the food, but it actually doesn't matter much. All right, so the last auto-scroller section. Not much to do here, but not die. It's a bit challenging, so we just want to be careful here. There's money in this section, but I think we have enough to buy the armor. I think it's 8,000. And the boss gives us a lot of money here too, so it's not too bad. So you also get a significantly higher amount of money in this one than you do the other Shovel Knight campaigns. I don't know why that is, but stuff is more expensive. I think it's just fun collecting money, so they were like, let's just give people more money. All right, so we got up here. And the next boss is Black Knight again, but similar to the Shovel Knight campaign, he's pretty difficult. So there's going to be a couple things I'm going to try to do. Whether or not they work, I don't know. Get the food, get the darkness. I'm going to try and keep staying up in the air with him. And this will actually... It's kind of like the stun lock in the first section I was trying to do. But if we stay up here... can do some hits on him, and he doesn't do much. Oh, alright, so I fell. So that means he's going to eventually get off his terrapin over there. So this is not an easy fight, so I just have to kind of hope for the best. And hope Skeletal Sentry does good work here. Which he sometimes does, but he also dies pretty quickly. So let's drop another sentry. Come on, one more hit, let's go. Let's go, one more hit. All right, we did it. That usually goes a lot worse, so I'm actually okay with that. Yeah, the last hit too, he always jumps back on the terrapin and flies around in the air, so it's even harder to hit him every single time on the very last hit, so it's even more frustrating. All right, so we're on to the last level. Let's get the Striker Shoal. So this armor, obviously, I cannot skate anymore, as you can see. But I do get to do a charge attack, which is a double-powered, longer-range, cooler attack. So because this is mostly just boss level, it's okay to get this charge attack. As you can see, I can charge it up and do a hit. I can also charge a homing attack, which is good. So this room is actually really frustrating and scary. I just don't want to die. All right, we did it. Did we? We didn't do it. I actually thought that was the last block, and then there was another block. That's okay. It's not too bad. Again, I don't need money for anything anymore here, so it's okay. Just don't die. It sounds so easy, and it looks so easy. All right. I think I had an old muscle memory pattern I used to do for this. Not that. All right, we did it. We got through. I do remember these platforms, which is good. Yeah, so there's not much room for me to use the skate anyway, so it wouldn't really matter that much to have the extra speed. It would a little bit, but for the most part, you're just riding stuff upwards. So it saves a bit more time in the bosses itself. So I'm gonna grab the checkpoint. And all right, so Enchantress is pretty tough. I have a little bit of a way to do it with the Judgment Rush. Because Judgment Rush deals double hit, it takes away 2 of her health normally. I also have to charge armor, obviously. And I'll be planting some skeletons, hopefully to actually do some damage as well. You see 2 hits on her. There's 1. All right, that works. That was actually very fast, which is nice. So final boss, again, charge armor is good. And it's a skate boss. And he's pretty scary, but he's cool. So I'm going to charge up here to do extra hits if I can. Okay, that didn't work at all. I should have probably... I don't know what actually happened there. So you can actually use the Judgment Rush to target him and save yourself. And I was mashing the button, so I'm not sure what happened there, but that's okay. All right, so we're just going to do the hits here. Come across the screen, get a double hit there. So I'm actually changing the way his cycles work a little bit by doing the double hits. I'm speeding up some of the cycles so that he appears faster in front of me from going away. All right, well, we'll get up there anyway. Sometimes the double hits don't work, but that's okay. All right, so this last little section, hopefully time is right after I kill him. There it is, time. Hit the button. Did it work? All right. Under 55 minutes is nice for a marathon run. All right, that's Spectre of Torment. And hopefully the King Knight campaign is out soon. The next one in the Shovel Knight franchise here. Also, I think we're almost at $500. So let's push a couple more donations. I think actually, let's just push it past right now. Here, I'm throwing my 20 bucks to push it past 500. Okay, I'll put it in their box. All right. Oh, sorry. All right, push in the box. All right, that's Spectre of Torment.